hoes try to stomach this thug life. They brain got the nose bandana on the grip. All heads coming out the foe. Connected from Cali to New York, niggas, so let it go. Made for this, nigga, I eat bars and drink flows. Thinking you woke into your third eye peephole. Line for line, this shit too easy, it's like a free throw. Mastered the game too early, this bitch a cheat code. It ain't a game, these niggas lame, state bring a shame. If I'm with an officer, it's a number in his name. We ain't the same, you want the easy pass, tell him change his lane. Shit, I've been through the fire, you can't stand the rain, take an aim. Tell him runner, he can try his best. Drive a car named after me, that's why I'm in the vet. Laugh at these niggas once again, and I ain't break a sweat. Number one at everything I do, that's why I'm one West. The Lord is not the God of the dead, so when I die, coming back for my spot, so forever I'm top 3. Just tell him to watch this janitor with the mop stick. You gon' need a defensive lineman to block this. On point when I bomb shit, 10 for 10 I do not miss. I'm barking with a full bulldog, it is not mixed. They can see that my mind's sick, I don't write, I find shit, I don't like it.
And something black people need to understand is that we need to know our identity. Like blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we are going through an absolutely identity crisis, and it's absolutely killing us. Let that noise pass real quick. Like black people and Hispanics and Native Americans, we have an absolute identity crisis. Give me Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 2, man. Like we have to learn who we are. We have to learn who and what to identify with. When we don't know who and what to identify with, we end up destroying ourselves. We end up killing ourselves. We end up murdering ourselves, murdering each other, killing each other, end up in prison, out in jail. You understand? We end up aborting our children. We start taking on another man's culture, another racist culture, because we don't know who we are. We're trying to find who we are, so we attach ourselves to anything. And you can blame black leaders for this. You can blame our oppressor for this. You can blame America for this. You can blame Christianity for this. It's absolutely terrible and awful what's going on, man. We have an absolute identity crisis, and we're going to identify blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans in the Bible today.
That's right.
Richmond's going to learn who they are today. If you are so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American, if you are on this sign right here, you're going to learn that you are the children of Israel. We are the children of Israel. We are God's chosen people. God is who chose us. God did not choose everybody. And we're going to get it in the Bible. Go ahead and give me Jeremiah 14:2.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 14, verse 2. Judah mourneth.
It said what?
Judah mourneth.
It says Judah mourneth, man. Like, what does it mean to mourn? It said what?
Judah mourneth.
Like, Judah is a tribe of Israel. And Judah is one of the tribes of Israel. And guess what? That's the so-called black man. He comes from the tribe of Judah. You understand? It said what?
Judah mourneth.
And guess who else is mourning too? Israel is mourning too. So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans together are mourning. You understand? The Puerto Ricans are mourning. The Cubans are mourning. The Costa Ricans are mourning. The Peruvians are mourning. The Mexicans are mourning. Understand? And everybody understand? The Costa Ricans are mourning. And said what?
Judah mourneth.
And guess what? The Native Americans are God's chosen people too. The Seminole Indians are what?
What?
Mourneth.
You understand? The Navajo are what?
Mourneth.
The Choctaw are what?
Mourneth.
The Chickasaw are what?
Mourneth.
The Iroquois are what?
Mourneth.
The Blackfoot are what?
Mourneth.
The Cherokee are what?
Mourneth.
The Wampanoag are what?
Mourneth.
The Seminoles are what?
Mourneth.
Because we are in a state of mourning. And why are we in a state of mourning? Go ahead.
And the gates thereof languish.
Because what?
The gates thereof languish.
Because a gate is something to protect, you understand?
Right.
And languish meaning they are destroyed. It said what?
The gates thereof languish.
Because there was something that was supposed to protect us, man. If you going throughout this Bible, we had gates and fences to protect Israel. We had borders to protect our land. We had men in charge and generals and captains and officers and priests and prophets of the Lord to protect us as a people, you understand? Just like any other race, just like any other nation, you understand? Every nation on this earth has gates and fences and borders throughout their lands and laws and rules and regulations and leaders to protect them, you understand? Well, guess what? At one point in time, black people had them too. At one point in time, when we were Israelites and we were Jews, we actually had good leaders because it's who God chose. We actually had great priests and prophets of the Lord because it's who God raised up. And they actually cared about the people. And they cared about the citizens. And they cared about so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. The Lord said what?
The gates thereof languish.
The gates thereof languish. They are destroyed. Our protection is absolutely destroyed. And guess what, man? Because of black religious leaders, because of Christianity, because of Islam, because of those Muslims, because of those Rastafarians, because of the Catholic Church, our gates are destroyed. You understand? Our leadership failed black people. You understand?
That's
Go ahead.
They are black.
They are what?
They are black.
They are what?
They are black.
I thought color wasn't in the Bible.
They are black.
I thought the people in the Bible didn't have any color.
They are black.
I thought everything was spiritual in the Bible.
They are black.
I thought race did not matter.
They are black.
I thought color did not matter.
They are black.
God is saying right now, this is what God is saying. Color matters. Your nation and your race matters.
That's right.
It's right here in the Bible. The Lord said what?
They are black.
Guess what? Because of Christian leaders and because of our leaders in the black, Hispanic, and Native American community, like your Ben Carsons, like your Al Sharptons, like your Jesse Jacksons, you understand? Like your Martin Luther Kings, like your Malcolm X's, like your Marvin Garveys, understand? And said what?
They are black.
What?
They are black.
Marcus Garvey, select you. Said what?
They are black.
They are black, you understand? And they absolutely failed the community, you understand? With their leadership. Just like those Christian pastors like T.D. Jakes and Creflo Dollar and like your Kirk Franklins and your Marvin Saps. And said what?
They are black.
They are black. The leadership failed blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. Go ahead.
Unto the ground.
Unto the what?
The ground.
Because there's different shades of brown in the ground.
That's right.
There's different shades of black in the ground. You got dark brown, light brown, earth tone, orange, like your clay. You got red in the ground. Is that what?
Unto the ground.
Because guess what? As blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we come in different colors. We come in different shades. You understand? Like race and color matters in the Bible. Like this is what needs to be taught to Richmond. This is what needs to be taught to the blacks and Latinos and the Native Americans in Richmond, Virginia. Because we need to know and what to know to identify with. When we do not know what and who to identify with, we end up destroying ourselves. You're wondering why all our businesses are destroyed? You're wondering why we don't have any businesses in the black community? You're wondering why our school systems are failing? You're wondering why we're not graduating the way we used to graduate? You're wondering, don't we wonder why our kids are being murdered and killed off like the way they are in them clinics by Planned Parenthood? Do you wonder why all of these terrible and awful things are happening within the black, Hispanic, and Native American community? Because what?
Unto the gates thereof languish.
Because our leadership is absolutely languished. Our leadership is absolutely destroyed. What was supposed to protect us is absolutely languished and destroyed. It has completely failed, man. You understand? It's absolutely weak. You understand? When you have weak leadership in your community, when you have weak leadership in your nation, nothing is going to go your way. Nothing is going to happen. America couldn't be in America if they had weak leadership. China couldn't be China with their government if they had weak leadership. You understand? Right. Russia couldn't be Russia if there was weak leadership. You understand? Like, we have to understand as blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, we need actual leadership. And that leadership is only found in one place. You guys already guessed what I'm going to say. Y'all been listening for 30, 45 to an hour minutes. It's only found in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commanding General Yahada. That's the only where real leadership is found. It's not found in that Christian church. It's not found in that Catholic mass. It's not found in that Islam mosque. It's not found in America's government. It's not found in the Republican Party. It's not found in the Democratic Party. It's not found in the Independent Party. It's not found anywhere else but in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commander General Yahada since 1969. That's the only place where it's found, man. Go ahead.
They are black unto the ground.
Go ahead.
And the cry of Jerusalem is gone up.
It said what?
And the cry of Jerusalem is gone up.
Because the cry of Jerusalem is gone up. Why are we crying? Because our gates are languished. Our leadership is languished. We don't have the protection that we're supposed to have. Right. No thanks to pastors, they took away that protection. Right. By not teaching us God's laws, statutes, and commandments, we no longer have the protection we should be having, man. In every city that there's black people, where there's every city where there's Hispanics and Native Americans, there's supposed to be protection for us. There's supposed to be a government fighting for them. Just like the there's a government fighting for the Chinese. Just like there's a government fighting for the East Indians. Just like there's a government fighting for the Japanese. Just like there's a government fighting for the Russians, fighting for the British, fighting for the Nigerians, fighting for the Africans. Every race on the earth has a government fighting for them, but blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And it's absolutely horrifying, man.
Nobody tell you cry. You know why? Because I never saw you before. But you a black man like me. And it's worth something.
My whole life was trying to find something to follow. Had loyalty, every man tried to borrow. Felt pain and a lot of sorrow. Got betrayed, so packed, I didn't even have my heart broke. Living confused, about to lose hope. Cops got me on the side of the road like a sideshow. Need an antidote before I croak. Now I'm setting fire to rhythm man blues, call this guitar smoke. Rebel with no cause, trying to find direction. The world got me vexed. Picked up a bad liquor habit that's hereditary from oppression. Felt like my life was on fire, trying to find an exit. Now look, 10 G's plus a good record. Sometimes a follower is a soldier, trying to find a good shepherd. Plus when you in hell, how do you excel? Wisdom the breath of life, I don't believe in fairy tale. Listen well to what I tell. No calling can cause pain. Something that a rebel knows very well. Can't you tell I was sent from the Lord?